Guys, so this is a video I've been wanting to make for a very long time, but sadly I've just been putting it off to the future. So I thought today I'd make it and actually finally finish it. I was originally planning to make this video early this year or late last year, but of course I didn't. But today I'll be showcasing my clone-based MOC. So without further ado, this is my clone-based MOC. So as you can tell, I didn't have enough of the right colored pieces, so of course over here I had to use some spear red and blue, but it still works. But the one very bad thing about this is it is very fragile, so whenever I bring it around it has a very high chance of breaking. I have definitely broken it over 15 times already. So I'll showcase the build, the minifigures, and the custom vehicles. So starting off with the custom minifigures, my first one is the clone pilot. All that I did to make it was take a regular 501st clone trooper and replace the white arms with blue ones. The second custom minifigure is this custom 501st ARF trooper. All that I did was take a normal 501st minifigure and swap the regular helmet out with an ARF trooper helmet. And then this is my custom clone gunner minifigure, which in my opinion is my favorite. It has a lot of custom parts, so I'll just go over them now. So starting from the bottom up, it has a custom waist cape which was 3D printed by my good friend Kellen Productions. You should subscribe to him. It's got one of the Phase 1 clone trooper helmets with a binocular piece. And then at the back it has a custom backpack. And then for the final minifigure, I just have a Phase 1 Commander Gree, with again one of the same waist capes 3D printed by Kellen Productions. And in my opinion this is my favorite ranking from right to left, best to worst. But I still would say all of the minifigures do look nice. And then moving on to the vehicles category, the first vehicle I have is a clone speeder. I used a tutorial for this, so I didn't custom make it, but all of the other vehicles are custom made. So this is just a normal clone speeder, but if you add a side cart, which I have right now. So like I was saying, if you connect this side cart like this, then it can be a dual speeder. Even though from how simple it still is a very nice build, and I would even rate it about a 8 out of 10. So for the second vehicle, I have this custom built walker. Again, it is a pretty simple design, but I still would say I am very proud of how I made it. So all that you need to do is just simply open it up and then of course close it with a minifigure inside. But I will give a tutorial of these custom vehicles in my next video, so you guys can wait for that. And then my second custom vehicle is my swamp speeder. I also really like the design of this one as well. I really like how I made it. I like how accurate I made it to the actual show, and also I like how I made not only this vehicle, but all of the other vehicles have a 501st color scheme. So I like how all of these vehicles turned out, and also let me know if you guys want a tutorial on some of the custom minifigures, like the gunner. Moving on to the main part, the actual clone base. So I'll just give you guys a view of every single part of it, and I'll give an in-depth view. So first off, of course, starting with the front, it is a very simple build with a small loading ramp and a door. I tried to make a door with a different mechanism, but this is all that really worked. Of course, you can raise it up and down in case you want to display it differently, but I would say that I want to make the door a little bit differently. I would make it better if I could add like some sort of mechanism to make it drop down and go up, but I could put that in the future. So over this side we have the mechanics corner. I basically just made this to house some of the vehicles. Of course, as you can see, it's got a small little repair toolbox. I also made a ladder that leads up to this walkway with some of the prison doors, and in my opinion this is my favorite part. So then on this side I don't really know what I added, I just sort of added a little gunman post. So up top it has this big custom machine gun, which I think is pretty cool. And as you can see, the small little lever or pull out switch, it actually leads to a trapdoor, which I think is pretty cool. But as you guys can probably already tell, this whole build is actually quite fragile, so this ends up happening most of the time. Most of it just falls apart, and it is very, very, very hard to stick. Trust me, I've done it so many times before. So looking at it from the back, all that this part really is just a small housing dock. Of course it's got a few boxes for some stuff, which don't actually contain anything. But it's mainly just a place for me to hold the storm speeder, like this. And then moving to the right back corner, all that it is just a simple triangle piece with 4 guns on it. So sadly, even if you guys wanted me to, I actually wouldn't be able to make a tutorial for this, just purely because of how fragile it is. Because this thing breaks way, way, way too easily. As you can see, even just from moving it around slightly, this whole part has collapsed, which is not that uncommon. But luckily I will be able to provide a tutorial for all of the vehicles, but just for the speeder, since I didn't make it myself, I will put a link in the video of it. So that's really it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know in the comments if you want more content like this instead of just a bunch of stop motion tips videos. And again, I will be making tutorials for the vehicles in the future. I'm not sure how long it will take, but I promise I will make it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe and have a good day. Thank you.